our lives.
You ruined so many things.
I was going for your will to live.
That's gone.
I destroyed that.
I was going to say that's Tina's job.
That's my job's job.
What I love is when Tina really gets a good one in on, when you get a good one in on Nico.
Oh, like the other morning?
He shares it with all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. No pride whatsoever.
And I was still like half asleep, so that was like totally unfiltered.
That was great. All right.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
On this episode of the Culture Smash Cast,
Apple makes a new TV play.
Netflix, you gotta give them their props.
Zack Snyder has no idea what he's talking about.
and neither does Zach Martin.
That's not important. I have a voice.
He's got a movie career.
That's
He's got
true.
more voice than you do.
He made Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was
Dave,
pretty-
Watchmen?
One.
Yeah.
You got any more?
Watchmen.
Watchmen director's cut, right?
Yeah.
I think we can all agree Zach lives matter.
That's true.
Wow.
Zach's opinion matters.
No.
So anyway.
I wouldn't go that far.
It's the Culture Smash Cast, episode 489 for March the 27th, 2019. I'm Stephen Lackey, editor of CultureSmash.tv, and Tina is Gassy.
I am.
And is.
Contributor to Culture Smash.
Nicholas Qualls, contributor to CultureSmash.tv.
And buyer of douchey sunglasses.
I didn't buy these. These were for giveaways.
Zach Martin. Okay, I'm Zach Martin. I'm a rage-filled little boy.
That's the most accurate thing you've ever said.
It's true. It's 100% true. So if you don't watch us on the YouTube channel, you should be right now because it's a bunch of ridiculous stuff happening. So before we get started, let's talk about social. All right, Tina, say something while I set the camera in.
Social. Social Enjoyments is a sparkling cider or sparkling sake wine. It's 88 calories. It is gluten-free, non-GMO. We absolutely love it. Steven usually mixes the grapefruit ginger with whiskey. I usually drink the hibiscus cucumber straight. Or we have a case of the toasted coconut and almond that we mix with rum. My brother's addicted to it.
Oh, yeah?
So I have to lie to him that we don't have it in the fridge.
That's a total lot. We have a lot.
Hopefully he doesn't hear this. But yeah, social enjoyments.
Socialenjoyments.com or 88social on social media.
Yeah. Social enjoyments. The drink that makes you talk.
It's just not the same.
Nope.
All right, so what have you guys been up to?
Time it and everything. Come on.
I know. What'd you guys do this weekend?
What did we do this weekend? We bought a Switch.
We bought a Switch.
Yes.
We bought a Nintendo Switch. We only have one game so far, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
I got a lot of shiny Tricos from my couch.
We did that was part of the thing. We went to Anastasia.
I saw that.
For my birthday.
Yeah, our local, I guess our local theater, the
Yeah.
Tennessee Performance and
Performing Arts Center?
Performing Arts Center. Thank
Yeah,
you.
there you go. I got
TPAC.
you.
I know the
Letters.
initials. Letters.
Letters.
Tennessee Performing
What do
Arts
they
Center
mean?
used to work there, in that building.
In that building, yeah.
So they had the Broadway performance of Anastasia, which, going into it, I did not realize that unlike the animated film that I was familiar with, they swapped out the bad guy from Rasputin to Soviet Russia. It makes the story is otherwise the exact same. It's just no supernatural. Yes,
Yeah.
there's no supernatural stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's still great. Actually, we watched.
There's a talking little bat.
No, talking bat.
Dang it.
But there's a talking communist.
They actually turned Rasputin's song in the Dark of the Night basically into a farewell love song to Russia.
It's so weird.
What the heck?
It's great.
We watched the actual animated film last night, and I gotta say, I like the play better.
Oh, wow.
I think for Tina, correct me if I'm wrong, you have a bit more emotional memory for the film, but
Yeah, but I loved it. Was gorgeous. I loved the play, the ingenuity, especially with how they use the projection. Because some of the scenes in the animated movie would be really hard to translate to stage,
Right.
the ballroom scene where the ghosts come out and start dancing. They did that beautifully on stage.
it was a really
Dimitri,
good.
you got a little bit more connection with him as opposed to here's this con man who's falling in love. It's you actually got to learn about him and get attached to him. They introduced another character who, like Nico said, communist Russia, but it's a communist officer who ends up falling in love with Anastasia.
Kind of being an almost not quite love triangle situation. And
Because she has no interest in it because his father was one of the guards that killed her family. And he's like, yeah, my father did right.
They definitely really go into the whole, yeah, your family was murdered. It was...
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
But it was a good show.
Yeah, it was a
Oh,
good show.
yeah. We absolutely loved Vlad, and Sophie in the movie was changed to Lily.
Yeah.
So Lily and Vlad stole the show with
All right.
one song. It was great.
It was good. All right.
So Zach and I saw Hansu House. I don't really want to say too much more about it because it's hard to explain. Just look it up.
Spoilers, I love this movie.
It's not even you can't even spoil this movie because it makes no sense.
If I directly told you the ending, you would still be like, wait,
What?
what?
That happened? What does that mean? Who knows? Anyway,
Bananas.
find it and see it.
Bananas.
Find it and see it. It was great.
All right.
All right, let's get into the show.
All right. So at this year's Game Manufacturers Association trade show in Reno, Gale Force 9 Games confirmed a re-release and updated version of the classic rare board game based on Frank Herbert's Dune. Fans of the franchise will be thrilled to hear that the original 3 game designers are back on board as well. Originally published in 1979 based on the Dune novel, the, quote, space civilization power struggle game pitted players against one another as they took on the roles of warring factions fighting for control of the spice-producing planet. The game received a second edition when David Lynch's movie came out in 1984, but then it went out of print as interest declined. And as we have a new movie coming out, the new board game is coming. Probably a sign of many more things to come in terms of the new merchandising bandwagon.
So, but this is not a reprint; it's a new game.
No, it's supposedly an update, so I don't know what they mean by update. I think it's the game. I think it's probably going to be the same mechanics and everything, maybe just new art.
That's a shame because I love it when you get an old game from the 60s or 70s reprinted.
I mean, I don't know how much it could like. It could be the same mechanics. It could with slightly new art. Maybe if they have actors in it, like for when they re-released it for the movie. Mm-hmm. But I
maybe
don't,
their image is in the game.
The current cast. Although I don't know if we've gotten actual. I mean, it's not out yet, but I don't know if we've actually gotten screenshots, like official photos of what any of the cast looks like in character.
I haven't seen any.
Yeah, I haven't. I know all I've seen is a clapboard showing that they've started filming.
Right. So, 2 of my favorite games I have is those reproductions I have of the original Clue and the original Monopoly. Because I just love folding those boards out and seeing what the game originally looked like. Because it's so different than the games we have now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the Clue board is tiny compared to the size of game boards that we have.
Oh, yeah, it's small.
I that's what I would really like. I'd like to see just as it was. Just see the original. That'd be cool. Mm-hmm. All right, so...
Box office.
Box office. Here we go. Number 10. All right, okay, I didn't do that. Number 10 is Alita Battle Angel. It made $1 million. It made 83.8, almost 84 on a $170 million budget.
Chugging along.
Mm-hmm.
Just die already.
Number 9 is a Lego Movie 2. It made 1.1 million. It's made 103 so far. No word on the budget here there, but it's got to be losing money.
Okay, what's
right?
the deal this week? Like, no one's revealing their budgets?
I know, right? We have 3 budgets in the whole week. Mm-hmm. Number 8 is Gloria Bell. That opened last week. It made 1.6 million. It's made 2.3 in total so far. And I would wager this is a very inexpensive movie.
Yeah,
because it's a small release.
$10.
It's art house release.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this could be very successful for an art house run, actually.
If only Climax was on there. So.
Yeah, if only Climax was there. True. Number 7 is...
The No Manches Frida number 2.
Yeah, it made 1.7 million. It's made 6.6 so far. No budget
And then
there.
foreign movies, they're just so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Number 6 is Tyler Perry's Medea Family Funeral. It made 4.4 million. 65.7 so far. And again, no budget on that one.
It's got to be some money, though.
Yeah, that's after 4 weeks. So it's not doing that good. Number 5 is How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. It made 6.5 million. It's made 145.7 so far on a $129 million budget. So it's in the profit zone.
Not in coming worldwide.
Yeah, well,
It's making money.
I was going to say, it's my making bank. Number 4 is 5 Feet Apart. That movie made 8.5 million. It's made 26 million so far. That to me is a lot of money for a movie that looks like a made-for-TV movie. It looks like a Netflix streaming movie to me.
Or like a Lifetime.
Yeah, I would
Or
say
even a
Lifetime.
Lifetime, yeah. Or you know what it really looks like is, what do they call ABC Family now?
No, Freeform.
Freeform. It looks like a Freeform movie. Number 3 is Wonder Park. $8.7 million on that one. It's made 29 so far. No budget on it.
Gotta be more than that.
Yeah, and this is its second week, so doesn't look good.
No.
Number 2 is Captain Marvel. It made another $34 million. It's made almost $321 million. Why would you not release the budget on that movie at this point?
Yeah,
it's very successful.
Yeah, especially when it's obviously over. It's made more than it's profitable.
It's probably a $150 million movie.
Yeah.
Disney doesn't almost.
Disney doesn't like to.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but sure.
The only new movie opening this past weekend was Us, Jordan Peele's new horror film. $71 million it opened with, which is I didn't put them down. I should have because it broke some records for R-rated horror. $20 million budget on that one.
That's pretty good.
That is a cheap movie, especially for his second movie.
Yeah.
After
And the fact that opening weekend he's already more than tripled.
Isn't this double the budget of Get Out?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know
Get
what-
Out
I remember Get Out was.
way cheaper.
And Get Out could have been way cheaper.
Yeah, but
Could've been.
Get Out made bank.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I
this
mean,
one's
making money
bank too.
I mean, Jordan Peele's on a roll. He's also having Twilight Zone opening up,
Which is looking really good.
Yeah.
The
It
clips and
is.
stuff I've seen looks.
Might have to get CBS.
Yeah, I was thinking
Oh,
about.
they all access.
Yeah, I was thinking like after the season's over, I might want to.
Well-
they put that on their program.
So I do CBS All Access the way I used to do HBO back in the old days. I would subscribe when the shows come out I want and then drop it and then come back to it when they come back.
Well, the good thing though is you could do it instead. Just wait for the season to be over, get it, binge, and then you're done.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you keep it like 2 weeks.
They have been pretty good about putting their stuff out on Blu-ray too, still,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Although the one time that we tried to do that, it was for Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, we're having this
we
straight up.
got through 1.5 episodes because
yeah.
it just kept buffering.
Yeah, it was.
Ooh.
It wasn't an internet connection. It was
No.
definitely something on
Something
their
in the
service.
application.
Yeah.
I'm having that issue with Shudder, where it'll be fine. Like my internet is fine.
Yeah.
It is connected via Ethernet. Okay, this thing is fine,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll go for 2-3 minutes. Pause. Won't continue. You have to back out and then hit play again. It'll pick up. Everything will be fine.
That's so weird. I'm
That's-
having no
that's
issues.
and
having
it'll
no
happen
issues.
2-3 times over the course of an hour.
And you know what's funny is I wonder if it's computer versus
Console
media device
Yeah,
because that's really what the console is.
Well, because ours was on our PlayStation. It was on our
Which-
PlayStation 4.
Well, PlayStation is notoriously terrible with their apps, though. They just
Yeah.
are.
I'm on a
That's
Fire
the
TV.
only app that I've really had issues with. is that
Yeah,
one.
and I've had no problems with it. Well, you guys haven't tried Shutter yet.
That's true.
Shutter is cheap. I mean, if you pay for a year in advance, you can get it for like $3 a month.
That's good.
Very
It is
cheap.
literally $42 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're splitting that with someone, it's $20 a year. And
That's what was so funny because
It's
Yeah.
some high quality.
There's-
like,
it's
horror
it's
movie
it's
titles.
very well curated.
Here's the bad thing about that though. Nico would hate me because that's all I would do is watch horror movies, and he'd be like,
Yeah,
"Tina,
that's-
can we
that's
please
fair.
watch anything else?"
Well, they have a lot of great documentaries.
Oh, okay.
Like a TV show.
But that's what's really funny is me and
Not
Zach,
everything
me and
on
Zach
there
and
is
KJ
horror.
were doing something, and we were talking about Shutter because I'd already bought it, and she was like, "Can we get that access?" And I'm like, I mean, I'm fine to give you my login information, but it is $3 a month.
Like, we
You know?
literally looked at it and we're like, we can afford that. What
I
are
was
we
like,
doing?
it's $3 a month. I sent it to him anyway, but they'd already paid for it.
Yeah.
I was fully expecting it to be like $10
I
plus
mean,
dollars.
if you still
Uh-uh.
got it, send it over.
Let's.
I mean, I really don't.
We still got plenty of watch
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. Including what's coming out this weekend.
Really? That you want to see anything on this
Actually,
list?
no, that's a lot.
Dumbo is
Actually,
opening,
yeah.
56%. Rotten Tomatoes.
That's where I expected it.
Hotel Mumbai is open at 76%. Seems like the sweet spot.
Like that one looked okay. I
Yeah.
don't have a problem with
What
seeing
is
that one.
this? I haven't heard of this.
It's a hotel, I think, in Mumbai that's basically
Really?
It's based on some real
You're telling me
events.
the movie Dumbo's about a person named Dumbo?
No, it's about an elephant named
Yeah,
Dumbo.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
close.
So,
Yeah.
but no, it's a. I think a hotel gets like targeted by a terrorism threat or something, and some hostages.
People get hung
situation.
up inside and all this stuff. Yeah.
You told me the
I mean,
beach
I'll
bum's
watch it,
about
but
is on the beach.
I don't feel like I have to go to the theater. I'm not.
Yeah.
It doesn't look that good.
That is a
No,
Netflix film at best.
Yeah.
What is?
Dumbo.
Maybe.
No, it's a Disney Plus film.
The
You're
Disney
right.
There we go.
Plus film. The Beach Bum is also opening. It's 52% of Rotten Tomatoes. So I put Us in here hoping somebody else would see it. I've seen it twice.
I'm sorry if my theater was packed.
So I'm only going to mildly comment just real quick on it. I'm not going to spoil anything because you guys need to see it.
Okay.
I will say that when I went to see it, it was at 94% of Rotten Tomatoes. But I was aggravated when I came out of that movie. Like, Zach asked me what did I think, and in the 20 minutes I was texting back and forth, it went from 7.5 to 6.5 because the more I thought about it, the more annoyed I got.
But you went a second time.
Well, this is what happened. Everybody's saying, you got to see it a second time. You got to see it a second time. That in and of itself is a point deduction for me. The movie has got to be at its best the first time you see it. The second time, if there's little things that you didn't catch the first time, you can enjoy it in a different way.
Well, the only way you would change that would be like if you truly didn't get it.
Right. Yeah, because you didn't get it the first time.
I just didn't accept it.
Yeah.
The story they had.
No, I got it. I got the movie. But yeah, I see that. Now the only thing, I started thinking about it because when Zach and I were at our art house theater over the weekend, I was talking to one of the programmers there who's somebody I disagree with very often, but usually from his commentary I can figure out if I would like it or not like it. Mm-hmm. He's that kind of guy. Like, most of the time we really split, but I can usually tell, and he was insistent that you have to see it a second time, that it just soaks in more or something. So I did. I slipped out and I saw it a second time. I had no problem getting a seat to see this movie. And, it's my Cinemia pass. I use it, so who cares? So I went and saw it a second time. I mean, it changed it a little bit because my expectations were different going in. So I'm back up into about that 7.5 space.
Okay.
It has the same things that bothered me about Get Out bother me about this movie too.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, there's an explainer scene where literally they explain everything that's happening in the movie to you, and that's just so much. It's so much pandering. I hate it. But the creepy stuff, pretty creepy, pretty well done, and the acting is great. Okay. I would really like to talk about characterizations a little bit with you guys and get your thoughts, but I can't say anything without getting too spoilery. So we'll talk about it next week.
All right. Speaking of characterization.
Yeah. Here we go.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Made a few comic book film adaptations before he was brought to the helm of the DC Extended Universe. But once he was brought to the DC Extended Universe, he brought a darker and more brooding tone. So though this darker superhero universe had its fan base, never really could achieve the same level of success as the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Didn't help that there were those who were opposed to Snyder's interpretation of these beloved DC characters, many of whom went against their codes or just against the source material in general. Case in point, Batman. Then played by Ben Affleck, the DCEU's version of saw Batman kill. Now that's something which he has been known to do in the past, but for the most part, The Dark Knight is perhaps known for his no-kill policy. And that's a policy that Snyder doesn't give a bleep about.
Oh, that's what he said?
Well, he didn't bleep. He has one thing to say. Wake the bleep up. During a Q&A for showing of Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice, the director addressed all of that with absolutely no filter and plenty of vulgarity. Someone says to me, Batman killed the guy. I'm like, bleep, really? Wake the bleep up. I guess that's what I'm saying. Once you've lost your virginity to this bleeping movie, then you come and say to me something about, like, my superhero wouldn't do that. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, down the bleeping road on that. But wait, there's more. It's a cool point of view to be like, my heroes are still innocent. My heroes didn't bleep and lie to America. My heroes didn't embezzle money from their corporations. My heroes didn't bleep and commit any atrocities. That's cool, but you're living in a bleeping dream world.
Okay, so I just want to touch on that one real quick because
this is great. I'm really enjoying
I love that like you're living in a bleeping dream world. It's like, yeah,
kind of, yeah.
I don't. You know,
like what we came to see.
Yeah, Zack Snyder. I know Batman isn't a real person.
Yeah, I got it.
I know he's a fictional superhero.
let me ask this. And I know it's a crappy film. In Batman and Robin, did Batman kill anyone?
What bearing does that have on anything?
In Batman and Robin.
I don't think so.
No.
Did Batman kill anyone in Batman Begins?
No.
He didn't save somebody.
He didn't save someone.
But that's opposite from
Did he kill anyone in The Dark Knight?
No.
And
But
he didn't
why-
kill anyone in The Dark Knight Rises.
But why does that matter?
So for 23 years, Batman has not killed anyone in cinema until this film, and he goes, well, what's the big deal?
Okay.
For 20 plus years.
But so wait, so what you're saying to me is if a franchise has existed for 20-something years, you can't change it.
If James Bond said, I want to retire, I'm suddenly gay, I also have no interest in women, I'll take a bourbon on the rocks, and I'm going to go live like the dude from The Big Lebowski, I'd go, who made this? They have no idea.
I don't know. I kind of want to watch that movie now.
James Bond is.
Is Daniel Craig still going to be it? Because I think that would be cool.
I would
All
watch
of
that.
those changes happen in one film, and you're like, this is not James Bond.
Yeah.
That's
you can't
my
really
point.
mess with the fundamentals of a character like that
I disagree.
Well,
instantaneously.
Okay.
He shoots people in the face with a 45.
So Tim Burton is very cavalier about this. Like you could definitely say Batman killed people in the Burton films.
He put bombs on people and threw them in a hole.
I know.
Yeah.
It's great.
So we have seen Batman kill in
That was
cinema.
not Batman either.
Well,
That was
I think that's definitely a valid point. But I also think that it's part of the tone of the movie. While the Burton films are definitely dark,
Yeah.
they're not
They're
grim.
campy.
They're campy dark. They're not grim. And I definitely think that was part of the problem. Whereas it's definitely meant to be more realistic and gritty, and I think that just kind of grated on people. It's
not to mention, I mean, the plot was incoherent.
yeah.
Well, but
It also was like, why this one? Why do the Q&A to Batman versus Superman? Man of Steel at least is an okay.
No,
Well,
just-
Man of Steel's all right.
Comparatively,
Comparatively,
It's like a migraine at the end of that.
yeah, but
Man of Steel could have been good with 30 minutes cut.
yeah, compare it to Batman versus Superman.
True. See,
Jesse Eisenberg.
well, I don't. I
He's
actually
2
don't.
points
You know, it
away.
sounds like this was at a festival event or something where they
Yeah.
were screening the movie, and he just went and did a Q&A. My big issues with this. First thing, I've never had a big issue with Batman killing somebody in film because what I appreciate about that is just completely, fully owning being a vigilante.
Yeah.
That is what Batman is, and when he doesn't kill, he's kind of like, you know, the Powerpuff Girls of a vigilante. I'm going to be a vigilante, but I'm not going to kill anybody. So I like that. It's kind of like Wolverine having claws but never stabbing anybody. I got no time for that.
No, Wolverine should totally kill people. That's
Yeah.
that's not a
Wolverine did
thing.
kill people.
Well, not when I was growing up, he didn't.
Oh.
He would cut a wall or something or cut a rock.
Well, hold on.
But he never-
You're talking about the movies?
I'm talking about in general. I'm talking about the character right
Well,
now.
yeah, but when you
So-
build into a world
Oh,
a
so
reason for Batman not to kill,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have somebody take an iteration and have them kill willy-nilly without actually giving a reason as to why he would kill,
I know, when I
that
thought-
kind of ruins it for me.
He gave a reason. It just wasn't a good movie.
No.
Which are two different things.
Well, I think the reason isn't good either. Like I said, I don't have a problem with.
games come out that he avoided killing people too.
Well,
so
no.
everything we've seen for 20 plus years has been Batman.
See,
not
so-
kill.
like,
and
okay,
see
like-
that
like my
argument
earlier-
doesn't work for me. Just because we've seen it a certain way for 20 years, I'm fine. If we've seen it that way for 20 years, it's time to change.
But like my
Good
earlier,
reason to do it.
example,
Just have it.
like my earlier example, the Burton movies.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Batman killed people. It definitely happened. But you're not going to see Burton basically, berate people complaining about Batman killing people.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to probably give a decent justification why it happened because it's just the
As
world.
opposed
Well,
to Zack
and-
Snyder
but Zack
just
Snyder-
growing
that
up
gets
and
to
saying,
this-
grow up. It's
That
like-
gets to this speech. He is just bitter because he's off the projects now.
Yeah. Zack
And
Snyder
it shows.
is-
He's acting like a big baby.
He's bitter. He's berating the viewers,
fan base.
the fan
He
base.
doesn't take criticism well
Yeah,
out.
and it's not basically only the fact that it was easier probably with Burton because you didn't have this on-screen interpretation of Batman more recently and whatnot. Whereas you do, to Zach's point, you do have an idea in pop culture that Batman is this kind of character who doesn't kill.
Within the cultural zeitgeist of what Batman is.
And it is-
You can't just completely reinvent him like that. You have to have setup.
I think you can, but I don't think
We accepted without question Spider-Man having these organic web shooters. We sure did, and that was not the way Spider-Man was. I mean, the whole
Depends
time.
on who you
Maybe
ask.
previous Spider-Man
Depends on
film.
who you ask.
Well, okay, but Yeah, well, that's
Spider-Man
the
has been around for a long
No,
time.
no,
He
no,
even
no,
had a
no,
really
not in live action movies. Not in live action.
Spider-Man
movies.
even had a really terrible '80s TV series where he had gauntlets. The webbing came off.
That was in the 70s.
70s.
But no, I know. But in terms of like
The
mainstream
cultural-
popular culture
yeah,
movies,
Mainstream. Did they know that Spider-Man had gauntlets? I didn't.
and the other thing is,
Yeah,
you
but-
also had this very the Nolan films.
This is like changing Superman to where he can't fly.
Everybody
Everybody knows
all
Superman
right.
can fly.
The Nolan
Well,
films.
hey, we saw
made it-
Superman killed. No one got that upset about that.
Got upset about
Not
it.
as
Don't
upset as
dare.
you're. Not as
Hey
upset
guys,
as you're getting
can we
about
let
this.
Nico
All right.
finish his point?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So the Nolan films do make a very big point that Batman does not kill.
Yeah.
It's not just something that he doesn't do. They
Right.
make it a plot point. It is so Zack Snyder
Who killed
goes.
the Joker. That's the whole.
Zack Snyder goes and throws all that to the wind. He basically it's not making a change. He runs counter to expectation, and that's fine. I don't.
Well,
have a-
because it was kind of a soft reboot.
yeah,
We
and,
heard
and,
that
and
going
that's
in.
fine. And that's fine. You can do that. He doesn't do it well. It's like your point too. He didn't make a good movie. He didn't sell it. There was no selling for why this Batman is this grimdark. Why?
I guarantee you, if the movie had been good, if it would have been like universally just a good movie, no one would have any issue with Batman killing somebody.
Yes,
Yes,
you're right.
Yeah.
I would
Exactly.
still have
He
that
didn't do a
support
good
law.
job portraying
But they
why this
made it.
happened. He made a bad movie. He did not do a good job portraying why
Right.
Batman is this grim dark. He
Right.
didn't do a good job like explaining anything in the movie itself. It's a bad movie.
Yeah.
And because
It
of
is a
that,
bad
it does a
movie.
bad interpretation
I mean,
of these characters,
You
and
know
that's why
it's gonna
people are
be a bad movie
complaining.
when the best character isn't even in the title.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of, we each are bothered by this whole situation in different ways. What bothers me is everybody, including at this Q&A that he was at, is focused on, oh, you made Batman kill somebody. Who cares about that? You made a bad movie.
Yeah.
That's
You're
what
not
I
gonna
care
tell
about.
a director to his face at a screening, this film's bad.
You think fans won't do that?
Yeah.
I've seen fans do that at Star Wars conventions all the time.
At Star Wars conventions.
Well, he was at a screening at an event with this movie.
Yeah, no,
People,
I think
I would do it.
Part-
I would do it in a
part-
hot second because what's the worst thing that's going to happen to
you're
me?
right. I think the fact that people are complaining about Batman
Right,
killing
good
people
answer,
is
good
it's
answer.
because the movie doesn't justify why it works.
Yeah.
Because it's a bad movie. It's
Now-
a symptom,
Yes.
not the issue.
Right.
Here's the thing. Snyder wanted his films to touch on a lot of topical issues and rip from headlines, while also having a superhero feel to it. All of that bad news would weigh down our heroes, right? But that doesn't mean that the lights of hope should be extinguished entirely, as we have seen with recent films like Shazam and Wonder Woman and Aquaman. You can
The
have
DC movies he didn't make.
Right.
some of
Or
those
have
darker
abandoned it.
moments and still be bright and hopeful, and a reminder that there is still a lot of good in this world, even if a lot of what we see and hear is just bad. So I think honestly, I think Zack Snyder was not a good choice
Yeah. Yeah.
because of his take in comic movies and how a lot of popular media nowadays portrays superheroes. A lot of people are like, that doesn't mesh well with me. I already see enough bad in this world. All I gotta do is turn on the news. If I'm going to a superhero movie, yeah, I expect there to be some bad because obviously you need that.
Right.
But I don't expect it to be the entire movie. I don't expect to walk out
You don't
of a
ex-
superhero
yeah.
movie being like, I'm so glad I live in this world.
You don't expect the superheroes to be part of that. That's
Yeah.
the point. Is they fight against
Well,
it.
and go ahead.
I was going to say, and I feel so bad for Justice League because I like Justice League. It's not great.
I like aspects of it.
but
I
it's,
do.
it's got good aspects. But you could tell it's the ones where like Whedon fought back against Snyder.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't want to say fight like it was an antagonistic, but I mean the different visions of
Yeah.
superhero
Well,
films.
Whedon had to go extreme opposite direction
Yeah.
to sort of try and balance that film out a little bit.
But Batman versus Superman and the work that Snyder had already done into it damaged it so much that it was not going to be able to recover from that. It took the other franchises. Previous to that, you had Wonder Woman doing well. Now you have Aquaman doing well. Shazam, early word is pretty good.
I'm hearing good. I thought it was opening this weekend.
I think it's next weekend.
I'm so annoyed because there was a Fandango early screening event over the weekend.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get my schedule right to go. So my thing is I don't find the Nolan films to be 100% uplifting myself. But the difference is if Batman is going to be grim,
Yeah.
if that is what they want to do with his character in his film, Superman has to be the exact opposite of that.
Yes, they can't both.
They
be
have
right.
to count. Superman has always been sort of
Hope.
yeah.
Yeah. That's what it means on the
But,
chest.
but for some reason, the last few directors who've touched Superman have tried to go the Jesus route. And I don't know what that's
Not
about.
even subtle.
Oh, man.
Not even subtle.
Have Jesus in the background as he's saying, "Should I turn myself in?"
Yeah, so
Like,
Snyder
symbolism
took
just like a
yeah,
sledgehammer
even the
to
Brandon
your
Roth,
face.
even the Brandon Roth movie
Yeah.
had that there too, and it just went to such an even further extreme.
Let alone how problematic Bryan Singer is now. The worst decision he's ever made in his career is being that person.
Mm-hmm.
The second worst decision he's ever made in a year, it made in his career, is ditching X3 to do Superman Returns.
Yeah, so I think that's the issue. Is Snyder? Well, one, he made bad films. The other thing is everything he touched had that grim feeling to it.
Yeah.
Now I know, and everybody's the Warner Brothers puts that on his shoulders, but I know that was a committee decision in a way, because they thought they could counter program to Marvel instead of going along Marvel's the path that Marvel has already successfully laid. They wanted to try and be counter to it. They wanted to be the romantic comedy that opens the same weekend as Friday the 13th.
Well, I mean, I also
And it doesn't work that
I also
way
remember
for
hearing
this.
reports of when Snyder submitted his first cut, the studio execs stood up and applauded they liked it so much, then told him cut 30 minutes out of it.
Yeah.
If you have a film to where you are standing up and applauding, why would you tell someone, yeah, go ruin it?
Because they think about the money. They look at him, and that's the thing I'm shocked about
Because they're
Avengers.
afraid of a
But
3-hour and
you're
2-minute
going, you're
movie.
going
Yeah.
to ruin your film and then say people, oh, hey, I'm sorry you hated that. Buy this real one.
You should-
Everyone's
shouldn't be
gonna
shocked
go,
about
"No."
that.
But here's the thing about Avengers. About in-game having 3 hours and 2
Literally
minutes.
everyone's on board of like
Oh, yeah.
6 hours.
Here's one difference. Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
That is it. Warner Brothers doesn't have that. DC's films do not have a Kevin Feige.
They thought it was going to be
This
Zack
house.
Snyder. They wanted Whedon to do it. They haven't got somebody who's doing that. Kevin Feige. Okay, so we didn't even get into this yet. We were supposed to get a new Spider-Man trailer. Did you hear about this?
No.
Yeah, we were supposed to get a
I
new...
knew there was a tease, like there was a something.
It's
was
a
coming on
tiny
Monday.
little teasery thing.
Yeah.
No, we were supposed to get another full trailer. The things that I've been reading is somebody at Marvel, I think Kevin Feige, saw it and said, no, there are spoilers in this trailer for Endgame. And they're holding it till after Endgame.
I appreciate
Yeah, it's great.
I appreciate
They,
that.
they did
Yeah.
release some
Tremendous.
posters. They
look four
yeah,
posters.
new
Yeah.
poster art for Far From Home, and also Avengers Endgame released a bunch of character
and I love the memes that have come
Avenge
out
the
of that.
Fallen. Oh, it's
My
great.
favorite in-game poster.
the same.
My favorite in-game poster is the one that has everybody's body but Goose's head. Oh,
Oh, that's a great
I
one.
love that poster.
My favorite one is one where it's Rocket, but instead of Avenge the Fallen, it's like, I'm gonna get that arm.
Actually, no. My favorite was I posted it to our internal Facebook group.
Yeah.
Was it was the John Wick and the puppy from the
That
first
is
one. It's like
so
Avenge the
good.
Fallen. I'm like,
One of my friends
Best
ripped
Avenger.
out my heart today at work. He showed me one, and it was Stanley, and I was like, "How dare you, sir?"
What's y'all's opinion on this meme going around the internet where they want Ant-Man to go down to the size of an ant and go up
There are
Thanos'
so many
ass?
more orifices
They want him to
he
do
can go
what?
through.
They want him to do what now?
go down
Go up his ass.
and expand.
What feeling am I supposed to have about
I
that?
don't
Because
think
it
you
will
should
never
have,
happen.
no.
It's becoming a huge meme of like, oh man, make sure he takes a bath of hot sauce before going in
Yeah.
to do extra damage.
I think that's funny.
Or if I'm
funny.
like, you can easily just go up the nose or in the ear.
Yeah.
You know what?
Why you gotta-
I don't need this at all. I'm fine.
I don't need to see cosmic
I would pay
poop.
double to see this.
Can I ask a serious
Well,
question?
I bet
Yes.
Zack Snyder would.
Why are so many geeky, nerdy boys obsessed
With
with
Thanos'
Thanos'
ass.
butthole?
Because butt stuff.
I almost spit out my
All right, all right,
That's really funny.
It
Um,
disturbs me.
okay.
So, but the whole outcome of the conversation is, you're right. They don't have Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
They don't have somebody like that who knows the world, knows how comic book fans feel. And also, the thing about Kevin Feige is he's got a history in film.
Yeah.
So he knows both worlds. They don't have someone like that.
I mean, the other thing too is they have built this house and they decked it out with like the most comfy chairs possible to where people really want to go over to this house now. DCEU was like, hey, there's this boat going down a river. We need to build a house right next to this boat. And all you're going to find is like 3 or 4 like attempts at making a house. Did my analogy?
Wow, that was. I kind of followed it
Because
along.
that's
With,
the boat being the trend.
This seems complicated.
Like,
It
and
lost
on
me.
the side of the boat
So-
says SS Marvel.
Okay, all right.
Wait, I'm trying.
You're lost.
Batman has to evolve, is what Hector says in the chat room.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm
So
fine with evolving, just do it correctly.
here's the thing that probably would have, and I hate to say this because everybody knows I hate Robin, but Robin's point was to be that sort of aspect of hope in Batman's life. So it didn't in animated films that wasn't Robin, it was a girl. You know what I'm talking about? It was a young girl, and I think they use her in the comics too.
You mean Dark Knight Returns?
Was it
Because
the
it's
new
a girl Robin in that.
Is it the one?
Yeah, Dark Knight Returns, the future where he comes out of retirement.
Yeah,
Story.
That's it. Yeah, I liked that because she was his sort of little bit of comedy relief, a little bit of lightness, and a little bit of hope in his life. They didn't have anything like that in Snyder's movie.
Well,
so.
I mean, you also gotta decide which Robin you go with because each Robin is very different.
But it ultimately
as a general rule, I hate all Robins. But I like that one.
It goes to your point of like Superman should be the opposite. There needs to be a balance. And again, it's not just the problem. It's an easy focal point to go to. You can easily go to this Batman and say this is a mischaracterization based on what everyone is anticipating Batman to be.
I mean,
and it's easy to point
that
is the thing that's wrong with the movie. Whereas if you have to explain all the actual plot elements and everything else that's wrong with the movie, this is just one thing that's easy to point to. It's a symptom of the overall problem of the bad film.
I mean, if scene 3 of the film was we see Robin get tortured by the Joker and Batman, and he dies via the Joker's torture, and Batman loses it. Didn't make sense.
Well,
like Batman snaps.
we got some implication of that because Batman has that Robin.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
Yeah, but for those who don't know the comics or don't know that story,
other people told me that, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Your film should stand up by itself.
No, I agree. I don't think.
Or maybe you have to see it twice.
Again, it didn't do it well.
But
again, it didn't do it well. It didn't. It tried to give you these little things that you're supposed to try to figure out for yourself, and it doesn't explain. It doesn't convey these ideas well enough because it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and Snyder's butthurt because people are calling him out on it being a bad movie.
And the thing that makes me the most sad about the whole thing is two things about that movie that I had really high hopes for. One, I like Ben Affleck as an actor, and I think finally people are seeing, oh yeah, he is actually pretty good. And I like the idea of an older Batman.
Yeah.
Those two things, Ben Affleck playing older Batman, awesome. That's the rest of the movie.
Him as Batman was great. I loved him as Batman.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed
And
when
like
I heard
I said, for
step
me,
down.
the best part of that movie was Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
and that's when you tell the movie changes. Because when Wonder Woman's ready to fight and you get a new theme, her badass fight music, the whole tone of the movie changes at that point. And that is kind of what you should have had more often in this movie.
And I think what we're going to get with the next Wonder Woman movie, I had some issues with the previous one. Overall, I like it.
I think it was fairly formulaic towards the end, but it was still a good...
It was a step in the right direction.
I enjoyed her as Wonder Woman, so that's what made it work for me.
I think that would work in Justice League.
Yeah, so the fact that the next one is going to have her in the 80s, I think is going to be a lot of fun.
Hey man, do you remember the 80s?
Yeah.
They're really hot right now.
Well, I hope they don't just shove it down our throats the way they shoved the 90s down our throat in Captain Marvel, because...
What you see is what you get in the 90s.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
TV, Zach.
Alright, even though Netflix has canceled all of its Marvel shows, what a shame, over the past few months,
Shut your face.
fans may be still holding out on the hope as they could return. And while that's nice theory, the fact is Marvel is about to literally sell pieces of the shows in an auction. So they're going to sell things from like Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. The auction has over 750 pieces in it and will take place in August. If you want to bid, you can go to their official prop store site. On one hand, you can actually see owning something original. On the other hand, if you own it, it might be.
They're not gonna be.
show.
See, this makes me really sad.
What a shame.
Because, well, I mean, you really should watch Daredevil.
Well, it depends.
Because Daredevil is some of the.
2 episodes. I'm like,
But you're wrong.
So it depends. I mean, if they do bring it back, they may go with the new visual look. So we may get a new Daredevil outfit, so they don't need the old one anymore.
I saw some like early stuff, like maybe it's rumor, but somebody talking about somebody else playing him already.
Oh God, that would be horrible.
Oh, no, I
But-
really
Yeah.
like Charlie.
I love Charlie Cox in that role.
But if you're going to retain the actors, then why would you drastically change it? I mean, we've learned from Zach.
Well, I mean,
not do that.
let's face it. At the end of Daredevil season 3, spoilers for Daredevil season 3, he doesn't have that suit anymore.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, it's
So
not.
that one
It's
can
not
go.
untrue.
Yeah, so I mean, in a lot of stuff, and I don't. Okay, I didn't look at the site. I don't know what all's for auction. The only thing that
a lot of stuff.
but the only thing that's really visually iconic is in the Daredevil show.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what are they going to do?
Well,
Get rid
notice
of-
they don't even really reference Jessica Jones in that.
Yeah, it's like her
Because
leather
they're
jacket's
they're gonna sell her scarf.
Yeah, her scarf. I think she can't get another
Her
one
whiskey
of those.
bottle?
Oh, yeah. It's like it's not like Iron Fist really uses a superhero outfit. Like Luke Cage, I think they were auctioning off hoodies. Like, oh well, he'll get new clothes. Those don't matter. The only really iconic thing in this whole franchise is the Daredevil suit, and then Punisher's like various random skull painted
Although
stuff.
I would love to see the David Tennant Purple Man suit.
That would be awesome.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
oh man, I would love it. But
But there was
it's-
a lot of stuff, like
Yeah.
stuff from different sets and everything.
Like the sets being taken apart, that's fine. They would probably get new sets anyway if it was a completely different production studio making it.
But it really does lean into the possibility.
Then it's gone.
You know, the
franchise
speculation
is done.
that across the internet has been that they're from. You know, people all try to build up stuff from very small comments, but when you start reading into everything, it feels like they might want to wrap these shows into the DCU a little bit more proper.
MCU.
Or the MCU. Yeah.
that might
once-
work better. Let's fix it.
Right? That would actually help
If
the
you
DCU.
want grimdark, Marvel obviously does it better with all
their
of
shows.
all their shows.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's everybody's saying that they feel like that's what's going to happen.
Ultimately,
Or the mics. I would also pay for the mic stand that Mariah Beats.
Cottonmouth with that. Was, oh man,
Yeah,
I would.
that would be a good piece of
Ultimately,
history.
though, as much as I would be sad to see these shows go, and I'm very sad,
I
I
can
got-
lose every single one of them except Daredevil.
I got 3 amazing seasons, or 2.5, however you wanted. I still like the
Yeah.
second season; it's just the weakest.
Yeah,
3
they're all great.
seasons of Daredevil, and I still really enjoy season 1 of Jessica Jones.
Oh, yeah.
I like a lot of season 1 of Luke Cage.
It's all right.
Yeah,
yeah.
and yeah. No, it's,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Punisher. Punisher's also great.
Punisher,
Punisher's a slow
that
burner.
the newest season of Punisher, holy crap! And I didn't even care much for the character, and that season blew me away.
Yeah.
It's so violent.
So it's we got all that, and you know what? At least it's finished. At least
Yeah.
it's not like I'm waiting on plot elements of Daredevil season 4 to pay off
Yeah.
or something. It's
Yeah.
There's like one
There's-
small teaser and that's it.
Yeah. there's
Everything
no
did
real
in those
plot
kind of
holes
finalize,
to wrap
right?
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It
All right.
it just it's just I want to see more of those characters.
You know where they
And
could go?
Where could they go?
They could go to Apple.
They could do that.
Yeah. So Apple announced a bevy of new services or upgrades to new services this past week. One, which just to touch on really quickly, is a new credit card service. Oh well.
People are just going to get that credit card because it's designed by what's his name, the guy that does all of Apple's design stuff.
Yeah.
It's a titanium card.
Magnesis?
Go watch Fire Fraud or
Yep.
whatever the other
The
one's
Fire
called.
movies.
Just the Fire Festival docs. Those are great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, in addition to that, they're going to be upgrading their news service and their gaming services, and their TV services. The key differentiations that Apple's trying to sell is they're going to highlight their privacy, no ads, not sharing their data with any marketers.
Now, to my knowledge, Netflix doesn't do any.
Yeah, I don't
do they?
think Netflix does any of that either. So
I think they're winking at Hulu right
I
there.
think they are. First on the list, Apple News Plus, a $9.99 monthly subscription service that is now available in U.S. and Canada, and it also covers family sharing. It launched basically you can subscribe up to 300 different magazines, as well as certain news services like the Wall Street Journal, Los Angeles Times, and the advertisers can't track you.
So if you're a reader of the Wall Street Journal, it's cheaper to subscribe to that than to
Yeah.
subscribe to the Journal.
That's a better deal. That's actually pretty decent.
It's a decent, and I actually still like magazines. I don't buy them much because they just go to waste. I'm not good at saving them, but I like digital magazines, and I've used Text Something and 2 or 3 different apps I've tried. I still get Video Maker magazine as their own standalone digital magazine, so I may have to look into that.
Next up, we have Apple Arcade coming hot off Google's recent gaming service announcement. Apple's version is going to be more like a subscription service to games that are available through its App Store instead of traditional titles that you could play on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. No fee announced yet, but they said it was going to be more than 100 games exclusive to iOS.
So what's funny about that is they winked hard at Google during their presentation.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you can download these games.
Yep.
It's not streaming. You can download these to your device and play. So
On
it's
your
probably
iPhone.
like the Xbox.
Is that not what Google?
No, it streams.
No, Google is streaming.
You don't download.
Like in Google Play Store, I can't.
No.
No,
The Google
the
service that we talked
Stadia
about
thing.
last
Oh,
week.
that-
Yeah.
Also, Apple TV channels, an update to Apple TV, including focus on channels like HBO, PBS, CBS, Acorn. Subscribers can choose which channels they'd like to subscribe to and pay per channel a la carte. However, pricing was not shared. And the update
That is
for
a big deal.
that though should
See,
be
I
coming
think
in
that's a
May.
big deal as well. This is basically you can do this right
This
now
is
through Amazon.
Way too soon for this announcement, if I'm being honest.
Why?
Because not everything's here.
But that's here.
Why should I get?
That's
hyped?
here.
I don't know the prices for any of this. I
But
can't
the-
even
but
look at
the-
it and go, oh man.
But
I'm
my Apple TV is already updated to this. I can get that right now. And what I think is interesting is it's somewhere between Amazon and Roku. You know, Roku has this too.
Yeah.
And Amazon has a really cool deal where you can do HBO and Stars, and they give you a reduced monthly rate if you do it through Amazon. But their portal's not good.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
this will be available through smart televisions, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV,
Yep.
and later this spring. And also, on top of Apple TV channels, Apple TV Plus, a new Plus package for original programming. While not a lot of details were available, they did announce there was going to be online and offline viewing, so you'd be able to download content. And then introduced a lot of directors, actors, and actresses that would help unveil content, such as Oprah Winfrey, Reese Witherspoon, Steven Spielberg, Jason
still working on
Momoa,
that Halo show, right?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Steve
No,
Carell.
I think that some of that came out on Xbox and it sucked.
and Big Bird for
Yeah.
some reason. But we didn't get any real idea of what kind of content it is. We just got here's. Some famous people.
No. If you watch the event,
The story you gave me didn't get. Said
Yeah,
there were
yeah.
no
Well, I
trailers.
was just gonna highlight because of the story that has that it's too long. Steven Spielberg is bringing back Amazing Stories.
Okay.
Oprah has got 2 documentaries.
We know Oprah's got 2 documentaries. There's going to be some children's programming featuring Sesame Street characters and some other stuff, but we didn't get to see anything. There are no trailers.
There is
Like I said, this is way too.
there's a tiny little trailer with some sequences that you can see from the different shows.
Well, then this article was wrong.
The Jennifer Aniston show. It's Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon is about morning news people
out.
and how petty. Yeah, I'm out of that too. What I think is really interesting about this particular part of it, though, is the Apple Plus. Is they're doing such a good job as far as stepping out of their walled garden and allowing a lot of these different programs on any device,
Yep.
except Apple Plus. You can put it on any device except mobile devices. You can't put it on an Android tablet or an Android phone. Or,
Non-Apple
mobile devices, right? And part of me is like, you assholes. But the other part of me is like, that's brilliant. Because, I mean, if you want all that stuff, they've got their built-in audience right there. And I think that's part of why they're not announcing a price. I guarantee you there's going to be some bundle package with new iPhones. You buy an iPhone, you get a year free or something like that. And that's amazing.
Announce that.
What's
Announce that? Like,
Well,
hey, if you bundle.
but if you think about it, you know they always have their hardware thing in the fall.
Okay.
And that's probably when it'll
You
happen.
know what the price of an iPhone is? It's $1,000 now.
I know, but when they show the new hardware, that's probably when they will announce this
Wasn't the
stuff.
latest iPhone like 1600?
If you get the
The-
you get the 10s Max and then you absolutely just pack it full of the extra RAM and full of the extra memory, yeah. The Note 9.
I'll stick with my
The
cheap
Note
$200 phone.
Wait, no,
that
it was
serves me
the
just as
S10
well.
S10 Plus. For the S10 Plus, if you
I don't know.
max
I
that
paid nearly
to
$1,000 for my
a
phone.
terabyte of internal memory update. Like, you basically maxed out. I think it's just under $2,000.
So, you know what really bothers me about all this stuff, though, is when you're talking about price, I wish they would have announced more prices, especially...
Get a price range.
I want an all-you-can-eat price. Because if I'm doing this, what if I want the arcade?
buffets.
I want News Plus, delicious MSG, and then I want the Apple Plus. What if I want all of this stuff? Because if just the News Plus is $10 a month,
$100 if you want it all.
See,
I'd be like, all right, cool.
See, I do think it's weird. I think it's weird that they announced some price, but not for everything. And it is weird that they're basically saying that these things are in various different stages of development, but it doesn't come across. It feels like they're trying to tell you it's already ready. I wish they better present it as like, here are things we're working on. Here are different levels of development. And that's why this isn't ready yet for price. But that's not how Apple works.
Right. And it's another one of those situations where this is an industry event for industry professionals. So they announced what's coming, so different software developers and that kind of thing can prepare. But the problem is everybody looks at everything Apple does.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that people forget. This isn't an industry event first. So they're going to just warn you. This is what we got coming. You're going to jump on board. What are you going to do? They probably still have some networks they would like to be part of Apple channels that aren't part of it yet. And this is their way of sort of teasing
Come on
it out.
board. We got these guys.
Yeah. Now, the real problem with this, though, and what I think is hilarious, and I'm not going to get into it too much, but I'm in a few discussion groups on Facebook, and people lost their mind because Steven Spielberg opened the event. And I'm like, why would you... Well, they're like, oh, this is why he was slamming on Netflix. And I'm like, what he's slamming on has nothing to do with doing streaming TV, because he's done streaming TV before.
He's done regular television before.
Yeah. Right. It's like apples and oranges. Yeah. He never said I wouldn't do a TV series. Apples.
But I mean, yeah, he's done television, and it's basically like the television projects he's worked on.
Yeah.
He would not think that they qualify for the Oscars. That was the whole Netflix debate.
Yeah, and that was my point in the discussions. I'm like, he's not going to expect Amazing Stories to get an Oscar.
Yeah.
This is people, this is so often what's happening is people reading headlines and not reading the actual story.
Yeah. They're reading the clickbait, not actually delving into articles.
Now,
I've never really been a fan of Apple. The one Apple, or like the couple Apple products that I've owned, mostly like iPods, have always like crapped out on me. So I don't know what it is. I guess my gremlins just don't like me having Apple products. I've always had better luck with like Windows and Android and stuff like that. So I'm not sold either way, just because I know it's going to crap out on me in a couple of days.
Well, the thing is with most of that stuff, and including the Apple Plus, if you ever did want to have it, you don't have to have an Apple product. You just can't have it on your Android phone. I try to be pretty as operating system agnostic as I can be. I have an iPad, but I also have an Android phone. I have a Mac computer because it's what I use for production.
But you game on an Xbox.
But I game on an Xbox, right? So I try to have a little bit of everything because I want to know all that.
Apple. Like if I went to start actually focusing on my art and doing graphic designs,
you'd end up with an Apple probably.
Or and then it would break in a couple of months because I am horrible with Apple products.
I would say for what you do, that killer looking Microsoft Studio tablet or computer is amazing. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's amazing.
I appreciate Apple because Apple pushes the market.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't have these nice Android phones that we have now if
Apple
iPhone never happened. It's Android. I mean, Apple pushes the market. That doesn't mean I like their products compared to the things that are ultimately inspired by them.
Yeah, like I said, I can appreciate Apple. I just have really bad luck with it.
Now, what's really funny is when the Apple TV came out, I thought, well, that's stupid. Because when they first came out, they were just basically iTunes boxes.
Yeah, they weren't that great.
So I've always been a fan of the Roku device. Well, when our movie came out on iTunes, I wanted to be able to watch it off iTunes on the TV, so I went and bought an Apple TV. Now the Apple TV is basically like a Roku, except it's all Minority Report. I can swipe from my tablet up on my projection screen, which is kind of badass. I'm not going to lie about it. And I can control it all from the iPad, too. That's the only advantage to their walled garden, is they can make their stuff talk to each other and work together.
Now you just need the floating screens.
If you are fully in their ecosystem, everything flows. Unless you don't back up anything and you accidentally break something, in which case, customer, you can get screwed.
But I still refuse to do iCloud. I'm not going to do iCloud. I do Spotify and Amazon for my music still. I gotta not go fully into that world.
Never go full Apple.
Exactly. Never go full Apple. No one wants that. The one thing that's really funny and very spiteful about Apple channels, though, is it has HBO, it has Stars, it has Hulu, it has everything but Netflix. No Netflix. I think that's I think it's hilarious because I'm less and less impressed with Netflix as time goes on.
But it's
I'm
also
more of a
weird
Hulu guy.
That shouldn't be Apple's like concern to like wall off Netflix from them.
But I know, but there's got to be some strategic reason.
No, I'm sure. Yeah,
I don't see what
it's a weird, spiteful thing.
I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
But I don't really see why yet. If you're going to put Hulu there, why wouldn't? And you're going to put Amazon there.
Yeah.
Prime is there. Why wouldn't you put Netflix there? There's got to be some...
I would say Amazon is definitely more the competition for Apple than...
Well, and it feels like they're really winking more at Hulu because of the whole thing about ads and marketing and stuff.
I have a question.
What's that?
Will it include the CW?
Oh, God.
I think
that was... Okay.
Go for it.
Okay, give me a break.
That's a pretty good try. Pretty good try.
So, Supernatural is coming to an end. Dean and Sam Winchester have been carrying on the family business of saving people and hunting things for years and years.
14 years so far.
But they'll be able to lay their weary heads to rest soon. Season 15 of Supernatural will be the final season. Don't you laugh at that song! Do you know I cried when they played that song? Thank you. Okay. Jensen Ackles, who plays Dean Winchester, Jared Padalecki, who plays Sam Winchester, and Misha Collins, who plays the ever-adorable Castiel, announced the upcoming end of the CW series on Friday. They talked to the crew first, and then delivered the message directly to the fans. The Supernatural fandom, literally no joke, okay? It's meaningful to the fans that they relayed the news directly. 15 seasons is an incredibly long run. The fandom calls itself a family. And Dean, Sam, and Castiel mean so much to so many people. The Winchesters have fought demons, angels, wendigos, ghosts, curses, you name it. They've had time and opportunities few series receive to experiment with tone and format. I mean, they've broken the fourth wall with an episode where they went through a weird portal and it ended up playing the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's a funny episode.
It was them playing Dean and Sam playing Jensen and Jared.
Yeah.
They even had a musical episode. They've done conventions.
They've gone
episodes. They've done fan fiction.
And the best episode.
Oh, the animated mashup with Scooby-Doo was fantastic.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I was like last season.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
It was actually really good.
It can hurt when your favorite show ends. Firefly. But it's been good.
That was a good call.
Explain some more for me. It always makes me happy.
But it's been a good, often heartbreaking run. Season 15 of Supernatural doesn't have an official premiere date yet, but if it follows the debut of previous seasons, you can expect it on the CW in fall of 2019. So this surprises me because honestly, after season 5, when it was supposed to end,
I was going to say, this show has been on the bubble forever.
Eric Kripke was like, no, it's ending at season 5. He left because he was like, that's it, my story's done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. And they were like, but it's still making us money. Mm-hmm. So they went on, hired somebody else, which that was the season that they had the fourth wall break. Mm-hmm. Because it was a poop storm at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, it was all over the place. Sam didn't have a soul. Dean was dealing with family. Like, it was so weird.
I loved the ending of season 5,
yeah.
and honestly, that's where I stopped watching.
Yeah, that's where it was meant to stop. And the
it was dark as hell, though.
Yeah, the fourth wall break was actually Eric Kripke coming back to take over the show again, mm-hmm. and he specifically demanded he was like, okay, cool, I'll come back and help out again and start producing and writing and all that stuff again. If I get one scene in this episode, and it was the scene where he tells the person who took over after him that they're a piece of crap and they're fired and they ruined his show, that was like part of the deal.
Yeah.
And then it went on for 10 more seasons.
See,
because they couldn't stop.
Crazy.
See, that's the thing about, I like catching random episodes of Supernatural because you really don't need to worry about the plot.
Really?
Well, you kind of do, but
I feel like that show was when it was at its best was so serialized.
it is very serialized. But there's also a lot of really good random episodes. Like I said,
Yeah.
the
Scooby-Doo
Scooby-Doo
one, you don't
episode,
need any
the
backstory,
convention, the episode where they go to the conventions
Yeah.
and find out about their fandom, the fandom of Supernatural in the
Yeah.
show.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of just like random stuff. They like when they go to the Renaissance LARP Festival.
Yes.
Was a lot of fun
That's
with
fun.
Felicia Day in the show.
Yeah.
I love Felicia Day.
You get
Charlie
these,
was one of the better characters.
you get a lot of random just fun episodes that
Mm-hmm.
you don't necessarily need to know what the greater story is. And it's obvious that like this crew has just had a blast
Oh,
working
yeah.
the show for
Mhm.
over a decade.
Past season 5, you do get a lot of good story elements. Like, past season 5, they introduced the Men of Letters. They introduced Rowena, who is Crowley's mom.
See, I don't know any of this.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, Chuck comes back and reveals he's God, and that was an interesting twist.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many good
Yeah.
elements, but they also had some rocky starts,
They
like
did.
with Leviathan.
And see,
Yeah.
that's what annoys me.
So-
Is at the end of season 5, my understanding was that was the end of the show.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be.
So I watched through season 5, and then a few things happened. I don't remember what was going on at that point, but I had switched DVRs, and it wasn't in my the new DVR anymore, so I wasn't automatically getting the episodes recorded. And all of a sudden, I found myself a season behind.
Yeah.
And I just never have had time to watch that season to catch up, and it just kept going and going, and now it's 15 seasons. It's really daunting
Yeah.
to try and play catch up now. But I really like the show. I mean, it was, kind of dark, but kind of funny, and it was always done to a really good
Yeah.
soundtrack.
It definitely had
You know?
a good mix of both.
Mhm.
Like really messed up content and then
Mhm.
really funny content. Like for me, one of my favorite characters was Loki/Gabriel.
Mhm.
Like when they introduced him as Loki, I was like, oh, that's really cool. And
Yeah.
then you see him again later on, and I'm like, okay, there's more to this. There's more to this. And then they introduced the angels. But no, my cousin gave me a lot of heartache over this because when it first aired, she was like, you need to watch it. It's a show you'll love.
Mhm.
And I'm like, no, I refuse. You're not my mom. You can't tell me what to do. And then
That's harsh.
Yeah.
season 3 is when season 3 was airing is when I watched season 1. I was like, what?
Mhm.
That
is
was
this?
12 years ago.
Yeah, 12 years ago.
But there's actually been some speculation on the actors' futures.
Mhm.
One article, I'm using finger quotes here,
Mhm.
Thank you for our audio
Yes.
listeners.
Yeah, exactly.
suggested that Jared Padalecki would be really good to play Adam in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I don't
Warlock.
know.
Like I
Warlock?
said, speculation. Of course,
That
they
sounds like
have
fan
done-
service.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have careers possibly. I hope they have careers.
Yeah.
Because I like them in other things.
I
would-
feel like you're going to see them in other TV.
and I think it may very well just be TV career, and that's a fine career to
Yeah.
have.
And that'd be-
but
it'd be
but
great.
I would like to see more work.
Yeah.
Well, and because what's his name? Which one is the older of the two?
Dean, I guess
Dean.
the Jared
Yeah.
Ackles.
Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ackles. He was in Smallville.
Yeah. He was the
He
voice of Jason Todd.
He was
Red
in
Hood.
he was also in no wait, was he the one in Dark Angel?
Yes.
Yeah,
He was.
because he was Alec.
Yep. He was in
Smart
Dark
Alec.
Angel,
Yeah.
and then Jared Padalecki was in the Friday the 13th reboot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Oddly enough, his name was Dean.
Yeah.
yeah.
But no,
Pretty hilarious.
I would like to see like Jensen Ackles. I like a lot. I would like to see him in more things.
Mhm.
I'm fine. I'm fine seeing them all in more things. I think
Yeah.
it's
And what's funny is part of what, if I remember correctly, what recovered that show was it was ending at a time when the CW was struggling for TV.
Yeah.
That was the only show they were bumped up against.
like weren't they still? Did they start when it was still WB?
Yeah.
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 And
So they survived the transition.
And they were bumped up against Smallville.
Yeah.
That's how I was able to watch for a long time because it was a 2-hour block of TV. I would just catch it every week.
Yeah.
And Smallville ended before that, so then they were the only thing that
Was
people
left.
were watching
Yeah.
that toward the second half of the week. So it kind of got brought back because of that. And what I think is really interesting now is I don't know what's happening at the CW, but they're doing a lot of retooling because it's not the only show going away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're-
Arrow's canceled.
Arrow's going off the air, which started their multi-series universe, the Arrowverse. So it's really going to be interesting to see how the other DC shows carry on, and if they find something to
I thought Legends of Tomorrow was gone, to be honest with you. And then suddenly I've been seeing some ads. It's about to start.
Yeah, I need to catch back up in Legends. I feel like...
We need to catch back up in everything,
yeah,
to
that's
be
true.
honest.
And it was... I didn't think Arrow, this second half of this season, has been very good. The first half I enjoyed.
Well, they can do whatever they want now.
Right. But now, I'm not leaving now because they're not even doing a full season to end it. They're only doing 10.
10. Yeah, it's going to be short.
Yeah. So I'll be interested to see how they kind of...
I kind of like it when you give yourself that much lead time. It's like last season, going off the rails, we can do whatever they want because it can either go really bad or it can go really amazing. But at least it shouldn't be, hopefully, shouldn't be boring.
Right.
The funny thing with going off the rails is Supernatural has already gone off the rails quite a few.
There's no rails left for them.
That train is just rolling on ground. It is careening off of the bridge. It is the end of Back to the Future 3.
But now
at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually ended up failing to save the world and the apocalypse happened and everybody died.
See, the problem is I used to love this situation. Like, okay, I've got 10 seasons of this show that I haven't seen. There will be a summer where I have nothing to do, and I could just binge it all summer.
Not anymore.
But now, there's so much, original content out there. There's never a break. There's always something new to watch. And shows that you thought were gone are coming. Like, I watched season 1 of the OA on Netflix, and it was all right. It was pretty good. I mean, it kind of ended in a weird cliffhanger, but I hadn't thought about it. It's been 2 years. Season 2 came out over the weekend.
See, that's the thing that's the thing that frustrates me about Netflix is we talk about how some of their content isn't great, but there are still shows on there that I would like to probably watch at one time.
Yeah,
but I never get to it because it's always something new.
And we also tend to binge watch Avatar or.
I saw you guys were watching Avatar.
But that's the other thing too. Is it's very hard to go back and rewatch things now because there is also always something new.
Yeah.
So it's just very time consuming.
And that's
slow down, Hollywood.
This is the thing that I can't figure out right now is monetization. Because it used to be easy to monetize new content. You would know based off ad revenue. Mm-hmm. How do you monetize? At some point, it's going to catch up. How are you monetizing all of these shows? How are you monetizing $6 billion worth of shows?
I mean, Netflix it makes it very easy to, well, not for us, but for them, it's very easy to see. We have subscription numbers. We know what we're making. We know.
But if they announce a new show, do their numbers go up?
Yeah,
because that's how HBO works.
No, and I agree. I they have to see that it's working for them somehow because they get their subscription numbers. They see the direct
and
effect.
That must be it.
But I get the feeling sometime there's going to be fatigue. Mm-hmm. I just mentioned it. I am fatigued by all the stuff that Netflix puts out.
Yeah, it's now I just want to step away from it and go outside.
And while Netflix does an okay job of doing a lot of different kinds of content, so a lot of stuff they put out is not for me, but it's for somebody. But they do stuff that's kind of in my wheelhouse still a lot.
They do.
And it's still too much.
Yeah. And also now they don't market as much.
Because they can't spend time on it.
Yeah, because there's so much.
They market in the moment something's out, they're starting the marketing on something else. It's coming out in a week or two. They're releasing stuff way too much.
So they're really dependent on the fact that we don't have lives.
And they're dependent a lot on word of mouth.
Yeah.
Well, because a perfect example is Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah.
I didn't see any marketing for that at all. But, internet word of mouth. And then Zach saying he watched it too. It was already on my list because Hector, he's in the chat room right now, was giving me grief about it. He's like, you got to watch it. It's so good. And then Zach did the same thing. I'm like, all right, fine. I want to watch it. But that's...
You started watching it at 1:30 in the morning.
I did. Well, no, it wasn't that late because I literally watched 10 episodes the first block.
Now,
I was like, boom.
I will say, when they eventually release the complete series, Blu-ray, Supernatural, I'll probably drop $300 on it.
Yeah, because hopefully they do a cool box.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's going to come in the Impala.
That would be great. That would be great. That would be great.
Okay.
All right, so if you do want to buy something this week,
I don't watch
nice transition.
Thank you. Listeners are wondering if I'm still here. I don't watch it. Sorry for me and TV shows. Your production.
Everyone was like, "Oh man, it was so nice having that quiet conversation."
I know, right?
It's like, oh, that's what it was.
You're still here.
Oh yeah. So speaking of lighter-hearted DC fare, if you want to get yourself a copy of Aquaman, you can do that this week. I liked it well enough, but I'm not buying it. I didn't like it that good. But it's on Blu-ray. It's on 4K, and Amazon has an exclusive 3D
I wonder
version.
if I doubt it, but if DC is going to at any point do the Marvel Route Phase box set. Because, one, I don't even know what it would be. And
They gotta do good movies first.
There would be nothing cohesive to.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
It would be. Yeah.
Have you guys heard anything about this phase? It's got to be coming like soon. The new box.
It's going to be after Endgame.
Because I have legitimately not rewatched a lot of stuff that I would like to watch again because I won't buy it.
Well,
I'm not buying it until the box comes out.
Well, luckily, a lot of more modern stuff is on Netflix.
Yeah.
So there's that. And, like, we rewatched everything prior to Infinity War.
Right?
I'm not doing it again this year.
No, well, Nico broke down not the one that we just had, but the one before that, Black Friday, and bought Spider-Man Homecoming.
That was the only one outside.
I bought that one, but
I'll admit, I bought the digital copy of Avengers Infinity War on
I
Amazon.
didn't because it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
What is now?
Well, this was before.
But no, when it came
Yeah.
out, we just wanted to watch it again. So we got the digital copy,
Yeah.
and that's it. But I'm still going to get the box set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just hope they put it in something cool because
Something better than 2.
two was
One was fantastic.
Yeah, 2.
And all the extra stuff that you got in one,
Yeah.
like the Steve Rogers
Yeah.
military file.
It was
and
great.
The
Like-
blueprints that Tony Stark drew.
2 came with some cool stuff, but the main thing is the case was
Terrible.
bad. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
It's right there. It's up there. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so
Moving on.
you can get Perfect Blue. That's a funny coincidence, isn't it?
What's the
Yeah, they're showing. So we
They're
have a.
showing Perfect Blue at
Oh, at the
At
Belcourt.
Belcourt.
I think this
yeah,
is live.
it's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's called that weekend. It's called Black and Blue.
Yeah.
because they're showing Black Swan Friday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Perfect
This
Blue
is
on
such
Saturday.
a good combo.
Yeah.
it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I kind of really want this Blu-ray. I haven't seen this movie since college.
I have not seen the movie.
What?
It's really good.
You've not seen it?
No. So I am staying as far as away as I can.
It's
Until
so
you get this
good.
Blu-ray.
No, until
I
I,
mean-
see it at midnight. Then probably pick up the Blu-ray.
It's
Yes.
like
That'd be
legit in my.
Yeah.
It's easily in my top 10 animes of all time.
Is it Cure on that list too?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Number 10.
How to validate.
Well, hey, you know what? That's good news because I like Cure. So.
I like Akira. I just don't think it holds up. Stan and Ollie.
Yep.
If Beale Street could talk. Pet Cemetery get that 4K 30th anniversary. I'll probably get
Just
that.
in time for the new movie.
Yeah.
Although I will say the box art's not that good.
Yeah.
Can You Ever Forgive Me? That's
No.
the. Yeah, no, right. That's the Melissa
Sorry,
McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can never forgive you for the 50 million stupid comedies and being in the Ghostbusters reboot. No, I will not forgive you.
Yeah, but she's still richer than you. So.
And
Yeah.
also the Street Fighter collection. Got that baby right here. Gotta have a movie night and watch that. You can get that this week too.
Oh, the Street Fighter.
The Street
Oh,
Fighter.
you left off the in the list, so it was not the collection I thought it was going to be.
No, not the collection. This, yeah, no, this is actually good movie.
Yeah. No.
I don't know if I could ever sit through that movie.
Legend of Chun Li.
The Legend of Chun. You
Oh,
love
man.
it. You love.
She was like a little Asian girl growing as a kid, and then she grew up as a white lady. Like, what?
So much wrong with that. Okay.
All right, what do we got for comics?
Comics this week, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 18, which is the second issue of the Hunted arc, where Kraven the Hunter has basically kidnapped not just Spider-Man, but like every animal-themed supervillain, somewhat low-level vigilante, and trapped them all in a cage.
Tigra.
In I don't think Tigra is in it, but trapped them all in a domed Central Park. To basically do a battle royale, most dangerous
This
game.
sounds like
hunting
fun.
match. It is. I've read the first couple of issues. And it's pretty good.
All right.
So I'm looking forward to that one. Black Widow number 3, Daredevil number 3, Doctor Strange number 12, and Fantastic Four number 8. And DC, we have Action Comics number 1009, Dial H for Hero number 1 of 6, Justice League Odyssey number 7, Wonder Woman number 67, and the big one of the week, Detective Comics 1000. It is a 96-page book, $9.99 cover cost. It is the 1000th issue of the book that spawned Batman.
Hopefully, he kills some people in this book.
Well, we'll find out. Co-written by Zack Snyder. In other titles, we have Bad Luck Chuck, number 1, Glow, based on the Netflix series, number 1, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, number 37, Peter Cannon Thunderbolt, number 3, and if you also like the Netflix show Umbrella Academy Hotel Oblivion, number 6.
Now, to be clear, this is not based on the show. The show is based.
The show
on
is
the
based
comic.
on the
Based
comic.
on the comic.
Glow is based on the show. the show on Netflix for Umbrella Academy is based on the comic, and not this specific.
And you know what's really funny about that is I still got a few people like after me to watch Umbrella Academy, and I can't get past the first episode.
So I watched 3 episodes, and then KJ watched the rest, and then I came in on the final one, and it was everything I predicted, 100%.
See,
it's
I don't necessarily.
That is boring to me.
Well, but
if I can predict your show 100%,
no. Hang on a minute. A lot of times with storytelling, it's not about the end; it's the journey to the end.
Yeah.
Great. I didn't care about the journey because I hated everybody.
Well, see, that's my problem. Is I hated everybody in episode 1, and I'm just like, I know I need to do because I always try to give it 3, but I just can't care to go back. And I know it's good. People like it.
That's. I mean, Umbrella Academy is not for everybody. I myself enjoyed it.
It is a lot. I don't want to say style over substance, but it is a lot of the style, the feel of the story that a lot of people like it for. But
and maybe I'm just not connecting with it.
And that's fine. I liked a lot of it, but I understand bits of it that are boring.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, pretty much everything with Ellen Page's character was just boring to me.
Until, like,
which is a shame, because I like her as an actress.
She's fine in it. She's good in it.
Yeah, her acting's in it. It's just that character was...
To Zach's credit...
He has a... No.
Yeah, no. Not as a problem, but Ellen Page's story arc you see a mile away. It's ridiculous.
It's the whole...
I will say...
I wonder what'll happen. Is it this? Then this will happen and that'll happen? And it was like... I'm not talking about, like, one little small thing that happened. I'm talking about this is going to happen, then that's going to happen, that happens, and then this will happen. Am I correct? She's like, yeah.
I will say my favorite character ended up being one of the ones with like the least amount of screen time, and that's because he's portrayed as a ghost. Yeah. So, but he was the best character because he was
the most well-adjusted character.
You guys are stupid. Why don't you just do this? Tell them to do this. You're the only one who can see me. And the other guy's like, I'm stoned. It's like,
all right. Did you guys watch the show Travelers?
No.
A lot of people, I haven't seen any of it really, but a lot of people are liking it, but it just got canceled by Netflix. It's always kind of weird when Netflix cancels something. It feels random, especially if it's something good.
Yeah.
And that show was pretty well received. Iron Fist, nah.
Yeah, that one made sense.
You could have dealt with that one, halfway through uploading the season to your servers, and we'd have been fine. It's just so terrible.
I always feel bad when it's something that's improving. Like it's like Iron Fist season 2 was better than season 1.
But
it wasn't.
It's
not saying much. It's not great. It's not even arguably good. But at least there was upward momentum.
You want to give it credit for improving.
Yeah, I want to.
That's so cute.
Yeah, exactly.
It's E for effort. It's not an actual grade, but E for effort.
Yeah, so
it's like me trying not to, bash the Warcraft movie as hard because I kind of wanted to like it.
I kind of like the Warcraft movie. I had fun with the War. It's not good. But
Zach likes it too. He just doesn't like to admit it.
I wanted to like it.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't even have any connection to Warcraft, like the lore. I don't care, but I thought it was, it was entertaining. It was a good, like, cheap fantasy movie, so I was fine with it.
I had no idea what was going on at
cheap
any time.
Cheap
fantasies. like especially like stuff like Conan the Barbarian and stuff like that.
Don't spend no monies.
Right?
I had no idea what was happening at anywhere, anytime. I'm like, where are we on this map? Like those scenes in Lord of the Rings where they go, here's the map, here's where we are, this person's attacking here, this is happening here. And they go, oh crap. Okay, moving on.
Which, by the way, speaking of Lord of the Rings, it looks like Amazon's spending a crap ton of money.
$1 billion.
I'm getting ready for it.
$1 billion on Lord of the Rings. Yep.
Now, I want to talk to somebody about The Act on Hulu. Have you guys seen that?
No. What is it about?
That is the dramatization story of Dee Dee and Gypsy Rose Blanchard. It's basically a mom who has Munchausen's by proxy, forcing her daughter to, stay confined to a wheelchair in public, and doctors, all of these.
Oh, I saw an ad for that play in front of something else I was watching.
Yeah, and the whole big part of it is Gypsy Rose gets fed up and orchestrates the murder of her mother, and it's of course based on a true story.
So my fear. And you can tell me if I have nothing to worry about.
Okay.
But my fear, I remember seeing it in front of something else I was looking at. Maybe the Fire Fest documentary or something. It played an ad in front of it. Yeah. I was afraid, okay, this is an interesting story, but I'm afraid it's going to look like a Lifetime movie.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say it kind of does, but I've been interested in this story since it broke. Since 2016, you know? Because Gypsy Rose was sentenced, I think in 2014 or 2015. She's getting out in 2024, and she was serving a 10-year sentence. But I would say watch. Oh, what documentary was it that I was watching that?
Dunstan Jackson.
What documentary were you watching, Tina?
Yeah.
I want to say.
And ignore Zack Snyder.
Yeah, I want to say it was also on Hulu, but there's a really good documentary that goes into it, interviews Gypsy Rose. And
see that I would look at.
Yeah,
documentary.
I'll find it and send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me, because that I would watch.
She says straight up, they ask her, would you rather spend 10 extra years in prison, or would you want to live with your mom for one more month? She's like, prison. Straight up prison.
All right.
So, her mom was messed up.
All right. I may have to look at one episode and see if it grabs me so we can talk about it. The other thing is anybody watching Into the Badlands?
We need to watch season 2.
We do.
That's you can catch.
I love season. Yeah,
you can catch up completely on Netflix. They have all of it.
Yeah, we know.
That
I keep
is
trying.
completely on me, because every time he asks me, "You want to watch it?" I'm like, I don't want something that heavy.
Yeah, you find that show heavy?
Well,
See,
I don't want something.
To me, that's just it's like fantasy kung fu.
Yeah, most of the time it's like I don't want something that I want to pay attention to.
And the widow is a badass and is hot.
Oh, I loved it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I flippin' loved it. It's just most of the time when he asks me, it's like I've had a really hard day at work and I kind of just want to veg out on the couch, half watching, half playing on my phone. And
that's part of the problem with watching all this new stuff is some nights I'm too tired and I just watch Chop for 2 hours or 3 hours.
Yeah, that's
something
that's
that
a lot
I
of
can
time. But no, I really want to watch it because I loved Into the Badlands.
Yeah, because we're
Yeah.
watching the last season now.
Yeah.
It's the last season.
Yeah, where it's literally going now. It started Sunday.
Yep.
They had the first episode Sunday, and second episode was Monday night. It picks up right at the end of what's on Netflix. So if you watch everything that's there, you can jump right in on the AMC channel on Roku if you have it, and catch the other 2 episodes and get caught up because it's really good. And if you like good, well shot martial arts like wire fu, like Ang Lee style wire fu,
like Iron Fist.
Yeah, like what Iron Fist should have been.
No, the fact
you need
that
to be
we
watching
the first episode of Into the Badlands after we finished.
Better fight scene than Iron Fist.
Yeah,
Iron Fist. We were like, why couldn't they just do this?
Right.
Oh well.
But they've got a whole team on Into the Badlands that are pros at shooting that kind of stuff, dedicated just to those
Plus, they had a
sequences.
little bit more time to actually,
Well, Donnie Yen is also can also just do that stuff.
Yeah,
he's just a badass to
They
start
didn't just
with.
get this random British actor. It's like, hey, let's train you for 3 weeks.
Yeah, and
they
see if
got
you can
Donnie
punch some
Yen.
people. So anyway, that one's about the end too. So a lot of with all this talk about new content, a lot of stuff's coming to an end. So
Yeah, so let's wrap up and go watch it.
let's do it. All right, so Tina, where do we find you on the internet?
You can find me at Cheddar Popper, CheddarPoppr on Twitter, and Novinity Avalon on Instagram.
You can find me at Nico Scream, NIKOSCREAM, on Twitter and Instagram. And find me posting the full list of comics that come out this week on CultureSmash.tv.
I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not going to do it. No.
Okay, you can find me. You can find me on Instagram. I'm Master of the Matrix 91, and you can also find me on Steam. A Dangerous Lunatic. TF2 is really addicting.
Look how deflated he is because he didn't get it the way he wanted it.
Oh.
Find me at All Things Culture Smash, mostly Facebook and Instagram, and keep up with us on Family of Fear. We are still sold out everywhere except Barnes and Noble.
No, we keep trying to buy one and it's sold out, and we get
Barnes and Noble.
frustrated.
Yeah, that's the only place left that it is available is there. So go grab yourself a copy if you like it. Yeah, he's got the actual one right there. Zach and I got all excited because we finally got our own copies.
It means a big deal.
It means a big deal.
When you can finally own the thing that you put,
your heart into. Yeah.
How many hours did we put?
A lot.
Yeah, so many hours. Yeah. All right, so I guess we will see everybody next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.